Evening guys, how's everybody doing? Well, it feels like an age since I've been on camera showing some of my beautiful vintage chainsaws, and I think probably the last time I was on video I may have been talking about paring down the collection and making it maybe a bit more manageable. Seemingly it's grown a little bit since then, incredibly, and also a load of my time has been taken up setting up a small online business selling hundreds and hundreds of the parts that I personally use on the saws as well, so that's taken up an age. But I've really missed showing some of the saws cutting, so I hope I have an interesting head-to-head today, because it encompasses both of those bits of information. One, it's got some vintage saws in it, and two, I've got a couple of other saws to show you, which I was really interested in the construction of the saws and the parts they use. And okay, where should we start? So another interesting feature for the saws today is this will be the first day that any of them have taken a disc, and in my ownership, that is. First one, the iconic saw, gotta get a haircut, Stihl 028. Several incarnations for this saw. So from the earliest version in 79, which runs a 42, I'm a bit rusty, 42mm piston. So the original ones were non-electronic 42mm, 31mm stroke, that's right. And I think on paper they're between 2.6 and 2.8 horsepower, 43 cc's. Then they had an upgrade to a 44mm piston that takes them to a nominal 47, and the last incarnation was the 028AVSEQ. This is the 028AVSEQ. So the Super electronic quick stop, and I don't know why they call it, actually that's a video for another day. I don't know why they call this a 51.5. We'll call it a nominal 52cc. We'll explain that later. There's some strange roundings by Stihl up and down to their range. Okay, so there's this girl then, which ran from 79 up to about 1990. Absolutely beautiful condition. So this girl's running a genuine Stihl Roller-Matic, brand new full chisel SARP chain, all MacAllister construction for the main components, composite for the tank, excellent AV. This girl's never taken a disc. Running wise, this girl's such a beautiful saw. So this one's, what did this have done? Other than a really excellent bar and a brand new chain, it had a replacement clutch drum, clutch bearing, a replacement oil pump worm gear, and a correct HU carburetor kit, because they were ones I was investigating going back several months because of the variations of the carburetors. So I wanted to make sure if I was supplying the kits that I had the exact kits and fuel pickup, etc. So absolutely beautiful. As far as I know, the saw is completely unbroken. The only damage it has is, as they often go, in that bottom, as you're looking at it face on, this bottom right hand corner of the silencer, a little tab is broken off on the exhaust. Other than that, that girl is just immaculate. So I'm really looking forward to taking a disc with this. So this will be the first day. So that's the 028AVSEQ. So this one's unusual. This would definitely not be, that will go in reverse order. One second. This one out of the three was the most intriguing for me. So this is a Draper Expert, and not a model you'd normally buy, probably if you collect saws. But there was something about this saw that was really just a little bit unusual. So any of you know the standard Chinese setup for the 52, 58cc saws and some of the early 48cc's. The crankcase on this, when I looked at it, was different. And so visually it was different to look at from the front. Then on the underside, you'll see the inset of the fuel tank, which is really nice. So it's got a composite tank set into the cast alloy of the crankcase, that's a really unusual feature. Decompression valve. Then when you look on the base, you see a little inset of bright aluminium. So this girl has an adjustable chain oiler. So 46 cc's, excellent AV, adjustable chain oiler. This is called the Draper Expert, I think the CSP4546, something like that. So this one was launched, hard to get an exact date, but about 20 years in front, more modern than the Stihl 028. So on paper, the 028S makes around 3.2 horsepower. So you jump forward 20 years, you drop 6 cc's, 52, down to 46, 2.4 horsepower. Running wise, well, I'm excited to run this. It comes with the original scabbard, the original Draper Expert bar, and has a brand new chain. So, and the chain on this is one I've never used before. Some of you may have used these. This is one of the Power Sharp chains. Never cut with one. Can't wait to see how it performs. I've been told by a very good friend that they cut aggressively, so we'll see. This engine is incredibly fresh. Its clutch drum is literally unmarked. It's just all original stickers all the way around. So for something circa 20 years old, this is beautiful. So impeccable. It's got that real fresh engine bouncing off the top. A couple of other interesting visuals which made me intrigued as to the manufacturer of the engine, which I believe now is probably Italian. Decompression valve on the center of the engine going through. That's unusual. When you take off the plastic top, very good quality molding. I said one of the keys is the crankcase then with the adjustable oiler, and then inside the spark plug cap I recognise from my other vintage saws is the ones they used to put onto Caster and Alpina. So I believe this is really close to something like the MacAllister 484. Beautifully constructed, so I can't wait to try this. That's the Expert from the 2000s, the 46. And then lastly, home user saw. So this is one of the, this one's made by or branded by B&Q. This is their MacAllister one, undoubtedly a generic, excuse me, Chinese. This girl is 2021, November 2020, 2021. So 20 years further forward again than the other two. So you see where I'm going now. This girl is a 40cc saw and pushes out 1.8 horsepower. So there you get the interesting comparison. We're starting back in the 80s with a fully professional 52cc. We're jumping forward 20 years. We're dropping 6 cc's, but going forward 20 years, it's definitely above a home user saw, so it would have to go into semi-pro, I would say. We'll see how it cuts. And then we're going forward another 20 years to one of the home garden saws. Yep, 40cc's, very modern. A couple of interesting features actually on the MacAllister. Outboard chain adjuster, I like that. I like that feature a lot. Excellent AV, excellent chain brake, brand new chain. And again, this girl's never taken a disc. So today will be the first day they've all taken discs. This uses as well the ElastiStart type system, where it kind of spring loads. So they're all perfect, impeccable running, all with brand new chains. Where should we start? We'll start with the slightly smaller one first then. Take a couple of discs and it'd be really interesting. One will be just the feel of how a gardener saw, but really late, full AV, excellent chain brake, just a nice thing. Undoubtedly a useful tool for a homeowner. It'll be interesting to see how that compares as you step back in time and then go to I'm really intrigued by the Draper Expert. That engine is so aggressive and so on point. The performance feels fantastic. So there you go. We don't know until we put them into the wood, do we? Right. Let's put that girl there. So the other two, these two are as close to new as I think you would find. Really lovely condition. So we've got a variation of wood. We'll start off, actually it'll be interesting to see how even the wood cuts. The wood's been down for over a year and might be quite hard on the chains. We'll soon see. So we'll go through a few discs with maybe 6 to 8 inch, and then if it's hard to separate them, I've got some monkey puzzle in the back, which is, we'll find something roughly the bar width, 16 inches. We'll take a single disc with each and just have a direct comparison. I have a few other of my beautiful saws that more of the eagle-eyed people will notice out here. In the back is a kindred spirit of the 028. There's the 028 sister red lever. Behind her, one of the very first 49 SPs, like showroom condition, followed by one of my showroom condition Alpina 070S's, and then a partner, a number, McCulloch. We'll go through them another time. Right, let's see how this girl performs then. First cut. Ooh. Okay, cuts well. I think actually that was one of the intrigues about this saw as well. I think this is very similar, the carburation, to the like the Stihl 017 and 018 with a fixed jet, so no needle adjustment. So there you go, she cuts clean, crisp, not overly powerful, but for garden stuff. Right, let's try the Draper Expert. Let's put I'm wondering with the sound of the Draper whether or not the freshness of the engine, if this would give the 028 a run for its money, or let's not say the other thing, if it could outperform it. Just sounds incredible, this engine. Okay, she cuts fantastic, and if I had to guess beforehand that the MacAllister was 1.8 horsepower and this was 2.4, this kind of feels almost like double the power in the cut. You can feel when you're pushing the bar in, she just doesn't seem to load the engine. So that's really interesting. So I fancy the 028 has a slower head speed to the, certainly to the Expert, the Draper Expert. This will be very interesting. Let's not be unfair with that there. There's a real gnarly piece on the back of that. Perhaps we'll come this side of it. Maybe. Yeah, very interesting. So definitely feels more of a like more of a meaty saw in the hand. Just feels like the engine has a bit more grunt, but strange. The Draper Expert feels like maybe it's just the exhaust note. Feels like it has more head speed and probably cuts very, very similar. Right, got to get a bit of disc. Let's get a bigger disc and see how they perform. I wish I had some wood that hadn't been down for so long in drying, something greener, just so that it's not trying to cut something quite so dry. But oh, okay, come on then. Ah, I found a candidate, guys. All right then. Ah, perfect. Okay. Right, we'll go again. See what the speed difference is. We'll start with the MacAllister again. Gotta say that felt very progressive and it felt really good. The MacAllister's super clean cut. What is this? This is a 16-inch bar, so 12 or 13-inch rounds. Nice. This would be very interesting. felt a lot faster. Strangely, the cut still felt, interestingly, the cutting speed felt even, but just quicker. Didn't grab, no hold up. Wow, that's really, really impressive. That's such an impressive saw. I found the original sheets for these back, I think, in 2004 or 5 or around that type of date, or 8 or 9. It's hard to tell actually from the serial number. They were selling, depending on the bar setup, for £250, between £230 and £250 back 20 years ago. So hopefully this is going to make a great saw for one of you. You think you can buy something like this now in perfect condition, and literally, you know, within half an hour you'll cut the value of the saw in wood, maybe less, judging by the speed. Right, let's try the Stihl. Trying to count in my head, got to try it again. Wow, I don't want to say it, but I have a feeling that's really impressive. The Draper Expert is incredibly impressive, guys. That's, the 028 is running really well, idles beautifully, brand new SARP, full chisel, and there you go. So fast forward 20 years, Draper Expert, again, like I say, not the name you jump to buy a saw, but if you look at the latest incarnation from Draper, they're just a standard generic Chinese clone. This is not that. There she is. So, right, so blowing in my mouth. There she is. Absolutely pristine condition. The only thing it looks like it's had is a repair to the fuel cap. So, if anybody buys her, bear that in mind. So there they are, an interesting head-to-head. So from 1980 up to 2020, 40-year spread, from 52 cc's down to 40 cc's, all of them running 16-inch bars, all brand new chains, and probably on the 8-inch wood, you could tell that the Stihl maybe felt like it had more power, but in terms of head speed, I'd have to watch the video back, but it just felt like this was quicker. Felt like this is quicker. I think, you know, if you're a professional saw user, you'd be picking up the Stihl just through longevity and being able to service it the same way, and etc, etc. But for the occasional home user, that is fantastic. Might take one more disc with the MacAllister as well, just so I can get a time in my head how they compare. Hitting the on-off switch with my thumb. So really interesting, super clean cuts. Yeah, really interesting. So there you go, they'll all do a great job. So for the home user, this type of saw, this one's going up for sale. This one is literally, looks absolutely immaculate. Comes with its original spanner, the booklet, the oil tank, brand new chain, the scabbard, and a fuel tank as well for mixing the fuel and the oil. For the cost of this, you'll be cutting the value of this saw literally in half an hour. Just amazing. And well, the performance shock for me is the Draper Expert. I'm really shocked at that. So this girl's going to be going out. She's got another chain as well that undoubtedly needs sharpening. I don't sharpen anymore with my elbows, but the only thing to bear in mind if one of you buys this is a power sharp chain, and I don't have anything to sharpen them with, so she's never been cut with until today. So let me show you what this sounds like again. What an amazing, crisp type of sound engine. Hey guys, it's nice to be back online. Hope the video is enjoyable, and I'll try to get back to answering some of the comments. Now I'll get my life a little bit more organised. A few really interesting vintage Italian saws and German saws to show. I'll endeavour to get to them later this week. Guys, take care.